All right, everybody, we're back here for another episode of Chasin Birdies, post Ireland.
I'll tell you, I wasn't chasing much in Ireland. There was not too many birdie chasing. The only thing I was chasing was my ball high and right.
Well, hey, dude, that's the nature of the beast. And we felt like today would be a great opportunity for Jonathan and I to get on here, talk to some of the boys about the trip, talk about the trip, because all you people out there probably watched us on social media, knew we were there.
Yep.
So here we are.
Before we get rolling, I do want to say this episode is brought to you by Lynx Brewing. Make sure you go check them out at lynxbrewing.com. They are the master brewer of the Chasin Birdie Blonde Ale, which, funny enough, they are canning and getting ready for the Writers Retreat at Nemacolin, August 14th to 16th. So the Chasin Birdie Blonde Ale will be flowing. I mean, the boys might be throwing some beers out into the crowd. Who knows? We might pour some on them. I mean, it's going to get a little wild up there. But also, make sure you go check out Nemacolin, nemacolin.com. I want to say book your room, but I think they're all sold out, bud, for this concert.
I heard a rumor that Nemacolin is totally booked out for that week,
so,
which is only essentially 10 days away from now.
So thank you, Lynx Brewing, Nemacolin. They go hand in hand. You enjoy one, enjoy the other. Mm-hmm. Everybody's great.
Amen.
Back to Ireland.
Buddy.
It was a dream trip. I mean, it was first off, the weather.
I mean, I didn't wear my rain jacket, but for 20 minutes. And frankly, 20 minutes was too much.
We had shorts on for 6 straight days. I wore joggers the last day, which I should have worn shorts.
Yeah.
But I wore the same shorts for the first 5 days, boys. 2 pairs of shorts, 5 days. So I felt like I needed a little change. But the weather, 60 plus every day, misted one day.
Yeah.
I mean, there was lightning on at Ardglass that we were in the middle of nowhere, and the caddies weren't concerned, so I just keep her rolling.
I told my caddy, I said, hey, bud, I don't mind dying on the golf course, but this ain't the course I want to fucking die on.
But I went through a routine, and I told BKatz, I was playing with Brendan Katzeff, and I said, make sure you tell my family I love them, and then lightning hit 2 seconds later, and we put the club back in the bag.
Yeah, it was dicey. But, getting over there to Ireland, for you people that haven't gone over the big pond, getting there is quite easy. We flew out of Dulles, direct to Dublin, and flight over was great. You leave at night, you kind of sleep, you kind of get rejuvenated. You wake up, it's early on Saturday morning. The first thing we did was drove to Northern Ireland, which
3
I get
hours.
there. Yeah, I mean, you got no clue it's a fucking different country. It is. It's ruled by the British.
It is. I'll tell you what, those lanes.
Hightail it to the golf course right out the gate. We pull in like a bunch of sardines getting out of the can, and we all grab our suitcases, and we're like, what are we going to wear right now? Because I had the same clothes on for 16 hours. Mm-hmm. The boys jump into the showers. I felt like I was back in the league a little bit. We're all jumping around.
I almost slipped and blew my ACL on the floor, but...
And that was it. That was how we started the trip, by landing, driving 3 hours, going right to the course, playing golf.
Drink it. Well, we all grabbed the Guinness right out of the gate at...
and we're going to get into that.
Port Stewart, and then I went over the range, and our boy Hayden Fleury hit one off a house that it clearly said, no drivers, no woods, and he just hits a high and left one, bounces it off the house. A lad comes out of his house looking down the range, like they're like eyeing each other up from a distance, and he went moseyed on back into his... I'm
surprised it wasn't a low.
No,
he had a high one.
It was more, yeah, it was all right. But anyways, yeah, our schedule was, we went Port Stewart, Royal Port Rush, Royal County Down, Ardglass, the Island, and my favorite, Port Marnock. So we played some goodies there, and we'll kind of dabble. I mean, we saw the likes of Eli and Peyton Manning and Eric Church at the hotel checking in on their property.
Yeah,
it's good to see the lads over in the homeland. What's up, bud?
It's hilarious.
But I don't know if you noticed, but did you? Every hotel we checked in, we saw the same people from the last hotel. Like, we just followed each other.
It's like,
let's just charter one big bus.
It's you guys again. Oh, yeah, you guys are from North Carolina. Oh, you guys are from West Virginia.
Yeah.
And then at the end, Port Marnock, the one cat there was like, hey, man, he's like, I just followed y'all on Instagram, Chasin Birdies. I love it. I told some of my boys in Georgia about it, and they already knew about the podcast. So we got some new listeners over there now.
My favorite caddy on day 5 was Sean, 18-year-old young man, works on the greens in the morning and caddies in the afternoon. My man listens to podcasts. He promised he'd start listening. So, Sean, I hope you're listening. I did on the one green. I was bending over reading my putt, and I farted. I said, hey, Sean, your shoes are a little squeaky. He said, it was you bloody bastard. So the caddies over there are ruthless. So we'll get into that as well. So why don't we call one of the boys up right now and get a little of their insight on the trip, because it was a dynamite trip. I mean, we got all 12 bags there. We got all 12 bags home. Mm-hmm. Hayden Fleury's still chasing his bag from Calgary to Toronto around. It's probably still on the way to Toronto. You know, we had some other lads that got in a little trouble the first night. We won't share names. You know, putting in underwear, just having a good time, good clean fun.
And that was
apparently is not clean fun over there. So
I don't wear underwear, so that was not me. But the GM was not too happy in the morning. All right, so let's give it a first ring over to our former guest actually on the show, Brandon Katzeff, Mr. Joyce's Jewelry himself. He was happy. BK is one of those guys that will milk you for all the strokes you can get or he can get. And, you know, fortunately for his sake, I'm a degenerate lover of gambling. And, buddy, yeah, you won 3, you won 4? Absolutely. Meanwhile, I should be getting the shots. So I give him the shots, and I always tell him, bud, I'll just give you $60 when we are finished with our round. And he beat me 5 out of 6 times. So hats off, BK. Let's give you a little jingle here now and see if you'll be so kind to take our call.
Hello?
Brandon Katzeff.
Jonathan Pepe.
It's a returning guest of Brandon Katzeff here on Chasin Birdies. We were just talking about how you took Mr. Ryan Bashauer's money 5 of the 6 days out over across the pond in Ireland, and we just wanted to get your take. You know, you played very, very well for 6 days. I mean, let's be honest. You played well for 6 days. And so what was the trip like for you?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Trip was amazing. I mean, the trip, I don't think could have been any better. We got as lucky as could be with the weather. You know, our clubs got there on time. We got there on time. Just had a great group of guys. And Bash, you traveled overseas. We went to Scotland together. And that trip, we didn't have any rain, but it was cold and very windy. And the course was pretty challenging. The weather that we had in Ireland was just, you can't even describe it. I've been there twice previously with my father and his group of friends, and I had rain gear on every single day in those, the 2 weeks that I was there, and we didn't pull it out once. So I don't think it could have gone any better.
Right. Yeah. Well, you and I played together. The island we played together, right?
No, we played Ardglass.
Ardglass. We were just talking about that. I mean, there were lightning boys, and they weren't scared at all.
No, I mean,
my man's holding a steel pull cart.
I mean, these caddies, the thing about these caddies is they have these thick accents, and it's so hard to make out what the hell they're saying. So at our glass that day, what y'all were just talking about, my caddy did not give 2 craps about the lightning strike that was like 2 miles away. And I'm sitting there going, dude, I'm not about to die on our glass. Not that it's a bad course. If I'm going to die on a golf course, I need another course to die on. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, it was so Pepe and I caddied that day, double bagged it, and he had one on the shoulder and he was pulling a metal trolley, and we were at the farthest point of the course, and we saw the storm coming in, and they're like, "Oh, it won't be here for 15 miles," and they got over the ball on the par 310, and lightning struck literally right in front of him, and the cows to our right were going crazy. The birds right over the hill were going nuts. It was
insane.
Hysterical. Yeah, it was hysterical. And they never experienced it because it's never hot enough to generate the lightning, right? They get plenty of rain, but they had no clue what to do in rainstorms. And Pepe and I asked, we were like, wasn't there a shed over there? And they're like, it's a metal shed. Like, we don't have lightning protection because it never lightnings here.
Warmest July in Ireland's history.
Ever.
So,
I'll tell you one thing though. I mean, the shorts. I wore the same shorts for 5 days, so I had to wear joggers the last day. But you could have worn shorts the last day too. for you, which course, I know Royal County Down, it's number one in the world, but for you, what was the course that you just had so much fun on? Your group was great. Something that you're always going to talk about.
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, obviously, Port Rush was pretty amazing because I made 6 birdies, which was a ton of fun. I started off with a double. They were joking that I was pissed the way I started, and they were joking that Rory took an 8, so I beat him by 2 in the last British Open. But
you're up 2, lad.
Yeah, exactly. We just had such a good time. I was with Bimmer and CJ and playing against Betty, and the weather was beautiful. The course was so good. The wind wasn't crazy, so you were able to manage it. And the halfway houses in Ireland are phenomenal.
They're so cool.
That we had 2. We each had a double Jameson on 10, and we doubled that up with a double Jameson on 12 as we passed back through, and just had a freaking blast on that course.
This is the round that you guys played in like 3 hours and 40 minutes.
I mean,
we did. Yeah, that's exaczly right.
I mean, but we were on.
Said it was the fastest round
12
that they've ever experienced because we got to watch the end of the British Open, and we made it the last 3 holes and got to have another drink in the clubhouse watching the end of the British.
So you, Mr. Katzeff, typically are the more of the whiskey drinker, and you drank a lot of whiskey. But I also saw you throwing back quite a few beers. What was that like for you, transitioning over to the beer side in Ireland?
With the boys, you when in Rome, right? Drink a Guinness. So, we had a great time. The Guinness was phenomenal. I'm not a big beer guy, as you mentioned. Typically, it doesn't make me feel the best, but the beer there is very different. And even the caddies, I don't know if you spoke to the caddies, but from Northern Ireland, as we went back towards Dublin, as we worked our way back towards Dublin, they said the Guinness is even better as you get back towards Dublin because less transfer, less preservatives. And, man, they weren't lying. The beer was phenomenal. I mean, I never tasted anything like it. I probably won't again. You were not a Guinness guy until we got there as well.
Yeah, I was not a Guinness guy until the 16th of July, 2022. And I tell you what, it's incredible. So Port Rush was your favorite course. Obviously, you had 6 birdies. You chased them that day.
You chased them. I probably had 6 birdies the whole trip, bud.
What was your most miserable moment ever on the trip? No, I'm serious.
Oh, man. What was our most miserable moment? Probably the 3-hour drive home after we already landed.
That's a good one.
But
that was a tough one, huh?
You and I in the back seat.
I know.
On the way home.
Like a moment on the golf course where you just felt like you want to give up, but at the same time you're in Ireland, you can't give up.
Truthfully, my worst round was Ardglass. Pepe and I played together. We played with Peering and IP, and I felt like the harder I tried there, the harder I swung, the more the wind affected my ball. I just couldn't get anything right. And that was the easiest course of the grouping, and it was truthfully my highest score. But we had such a great group of guys. It didn't matter. I mean, you were out there playing golf, having fun with the boys, and the weather was so good. Like it didn't matter. You couldn't complain about anything, and that was just me in my own head. Getting pissed at myself for not hitting it as well. And unfortunately, that was the round. Well, Pepe and I, you played together. We played together the next day at the island as well, right?
Yeah, we played together 2 days in a row. Yeah, we made some switches. Right. But yeah, I mean, you're hitting the new irons are great too. So
yeah, I got nothing to complain about, man. I'm excited to get back and play some to play some golf here locally and experience the courses. Thinking about how they were over there, it was how much fun is it? Like being able to hit so many different shots with the firmness. Like I don't know how the ground is so firm there and everywhere.
Concrete. Are you gonna play? Have you used all your rounds at Pete Dye yet this year, or what? Or you go over and play a couple rounds there? I know that.
Unfortunately, I'm a member. So
okay,
I can't have too many guests though. All my buddies bash.
They're all used up.
Have many more buddies rounds there, but fortunately, we got the big smoke coming up. Hopefully, we can get some exemptions. So. Generate some revenue for the guys at Pete Dye and Big Smoke. But yeah, that was a tough one. Had a fun round with Flurry and IP and you and Bash before we left.
Yeah, we had a blast, cool. And you outfitted Flurry in some good swag, Joyce's jewelry swag. since he doesn't have a suitcase. So he had a little mishmash of clothes.
Mm-hmm. Great.
I think he worked out better than anyone with all his new Linkful gear.
Of course. Always.
Yeah.
The rich get richer. I did pull a childish prank on Flurry the night before we left, which I will share before we get off the phone. I was in the shower and I looked up and the shower head turns to the side. So I turned the shower head. I'm like, hey, dude, so you get a shower? So he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, you want to get in or what? And he's like, dude, just calm down. And goes in, turns it. He's like, you're such a fucking child. So,
dude, how great was Hayden and CJ, not really knowing many people on the trip, coming into a group of guys, 10 of us that are together pretty frequently and know each other very well. But CJ and Fleur, they bounced right in. And,
they fit.
Played the pranks and
everybody
got right into it.
It was great.
It was great.
CJ fit in. He's hilarious. I can't believe he's a referee. It's funny just to look at him and think that that's his job because he's just such a good time. But they all had a good time. Everyone did. And I think we're in a carrying over. We're giving old Bimmer a call right now. Get his food for thought.
Bimmer, the best, happiest person on the trip, man. He was my partner at Fort Rush. So we'll see what he has to say because he snuck a couple birdies in and we won the team game that day and never looked back. So.
Yep, Bimmer's bouncing right along there, boys.
Well, we were happy to share the memories with you, buddy. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I appreciate the call, boys. It was great.
BK, thanks, my man. It was awesome. We enjoyed it.
All right, talk to y'all soon.
Ciao. I need to say one thing because I know we have a couple of people here that we still have to talk to. We got to talk to Ian Patrick and we got to talk to Brian John.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Detweiler is absolutely one of my favorite human beings when it comes to golf. The guy will jump at any moment to either A, work on a swing, or B, hit a golf ball. I mean, so you take it, Royal County Down has that little net outside the hotel where we're staying in.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy Wop's in there just banging balls. Now he's getting warmed up. And, I just wanted to say that because we hadn't talked about Daddy on the past. But for those of you people out there that may know Jared or may not know Jared, taller guy, and he loves golf, and it shows when he plays because he gets real serious. He gets mad, and then finally, if he makes a par or maybe birdie, you'll get a little smile out of him.
I'll tell you, we did get a smile out of him a couple times, bud. We went into the restaurants, got the old "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy" chant going, and he broke a smile. So it was good to see Daddy smile ear to ear. I mean, you're in Ireland, boys. Smile a little bit, have some fun. And we all did that. So on to the next guest of the show. I would say he was probably, would you say, second MVP of the trip?
Well, I mean, the guy's coming off a fresh win at the Allegheny member guest, Allegheny Country Club in Pittsburgh. Brian John.
Bimmer, as we all call him.
Bimmer. And we had the pleasure, you and I, to play with Bimmer at Royal County Down. And
yes.
And he saw us at our worst. I mean, but I barely broke 100. You barely, you would shoot 50 on the front. I shot 50 on the back.
But I shot 45.
Oh, my bad.
38.
Oh, that was me. Okay.
We were chasing 90s. Both.
Early.
And I kind of turned it together, got a key birdie there on that par 3, and you went the other way. So it was good. It was great to see it, though. I mean, I've seen you your best. And I've seen you at your worst. But at your worst, I don't even consider it your worst because of where the hell we were. Royal County Down was 30-mile-an-hour winds, bud.
I lost more golf balls that day than Titleist does when they have rejects from Dick's. I mean, I lost more balls. It was stroke after stroke, double. I did get screwed in that one bunker on number 5. Bird in the face. Had to take
that's
double.
Where your round turned.
All right, so let's give our man, Mr. Brian John, a call. And see if we can get him here on this Northern Ireland podcast. Talk.
Probably send us to his secretary like he did last time.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has a little success.
Hello.
Mr. Brian John, my man.
How we doing, guys?
My man.
You were here on Chasin Birdies right now, buddy.
Dude, I'm pumped to be on here with the boys. I'm smiling like usual.
Hey, dude, that's one thing you do constantly is smile. Opposite of Detweiler, you are always smiling. And I love it.
I mean, bud, we had to get a Daddy chant the whole restaurant going to get him to smile a little bit, which was great. He smiled. He just did not want to smile so bad. So
he did. He cracked one there towards the end, didn't he?
yeah, he gave you like a little like top lip curl at the crew. So Northern Ireland, give us your take, bud, your perspective, because you had a blast. You smiled the whole way around the damn island, which, for record, that is an island, bud.
It didn't dawn on me that it was an island until I was there.
Fire away, Bims.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, going into the trip, you know, I kind of had it broken down three ways. You know, one was golf, two was camaraderie, and three was kind of embracing the Irish culture. And I feel like we hit all three. You know, the golf was to die for. I mean, it's everything you could ever imagine. You know, Ireland has 40% of the links courses in the world. And I mean, you know, it was awesome. True links golf, you know, along the coast, you know, no trees. It was awesome playing Royal County Down with you guys. I mean, boys, that pounded us. I mean, let's be honest here, right?
Yeah.
I wish we could do it again, buddy.
I mean, we were putting at 10:30 at night, Royal County Down the one night. There was not a breath of wind. Like, why can't we just go then?
Yeah. So get back to RCD, bud. So what for you was your most memorable moment in Ireland? What course, what shot, what was it? It doesn't have to be one specific well, it does have to be one specifically, but what was it for you?
I mean, it was definitely RCD. The feeling that you get playing RCD, the blind shots, the punishing wind. I mean, I played with Pepe a few different times, and you know, for those of you who haven't played with him, his driver is probably his best club in his bag. It's silky smooth, you know, it's this little baby fade, and that thing was just sailing in RCD. I mean, so for me, it was the RCD experience of really hard golf and windy conditions. And
you know, Royal County Down, I think it opened in 1889 or somewhere around 1890, 1889 by old Tom Morris. There's only two greens that are original on that course, and that is the 10th green and the putting green. Yeah, 10th the par 3 that you should have birdied. You rolled a 7-iron to 10 feet.
9-iron.
Yeah, and I doubled it. But that is some cool fun facts there. Old Tom Morris, 1889 Royal County Down. So,
but you feel like when you're playing the golf course, you feel like that presence is there.
You do.
Everywhere you went in Ireland, you felt like, pinch me, I can feel like almost ghosts walking around with you. It was a surreal feel. I mean, like you think about all the caddies, the stories that they have, who they've caddied for, important, not important, whatever. They see so much golf. They see so much of everything, and it's just so cool to hear their stories. I mean, my guy Jerry the last day has been there for 60-some years.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that, boys.
Oh,
Bimmer, by the way, at Royal County Down, remember we made the turn together? What did we eat?
We had the ham with the loose cheese on it sandwich. It was fantastic. I'm implementing that into my sandwich routine in the United States now. Need to go get some shredded cheese. Mm-hmm. You guys went to split a sandwich, and then you guys decided, you know what? Let's just get another one.
Yeah.
It was so good, right?
So we ended up getting 2 sandwiches and doing the same thing. It was just, the shredded cheese is the move, though. I mean, that's what made that damn sandwich.
Well, plus it's Irish cheese, right? It's fresh. I mean, there's cows everywhere.
How about the Guinness? What was your take on the Guinness? Did you enjoy? Did you indulge? Tell us a little about your Guinness experience in the games the boys were playing there with the Guinness.
Oh, the Guinness was exactly what everybody had been telling me. It was just so much better than the United States. Apparently, they put some kind of preservative in the Guinness when they ship it over to the States. And so I found it to be a lot smoother and lighter than Guinness is in the United States. And it was awesome. And, you know, the game that you're talking about is, you know, so they fill up the Guinness, and then there's some foam at the top of the Guinness, and they fill it up in a traditional Guinness glass. Like it says Guinness on it. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but you're supposed to chug it until you get the foam to the bottom of the end and in between. What is it, Bash?
It's a harp. So you got to drink it. Now, supposedly it's 3 golfs, 2 golfs, or maybe there's no quantity of how many you can do it, but you got to get that line between the end and the top of the harp on your first crack at it. And I actually have a good video of you doing that. I'll have to send it to you. Maybe we'll put it out there in the ether. Maybe we won't, but I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I like that. Our boy Steve Pearing was, we left the trip. He's still in Ireland. He's doing that game by himself as we speak.
Yeah, he's there for another 8 days. I mean, the freaking guy can barely walk through 5 days, yet alone let's stay another 9, huh?
Yeah. And all you listeners out there, we all have that friend, right? We have that Steve Pearing friend out there somewhere. The guy loves golf, will play golf as much as he can, talks about how good he's playing, how he's hitting it, how great it's going. Then you play with him, and it's like, bud, like, what the fuck was that? And then the apologetic mood starts coming. Man, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, But we all have that friend, Steve Pearing, love him to death. That's our friend. Bimmer, so what, with respect to Ireland and the trip with the boys, what do you think your most, what was the funniest thing that you witnessed on this trip?
It wasn't funny in the moment. Okay, boys, I don't know if you want me bringing it up on the show, but the guy, more or less attacking you, Batch. I mean, it was not funny in the moment, but looking back at it, I mean, we're going to laugh about that for years.
He tried to attack me earlier in the night. I told you.
Yeah, the guy.
Did he really, Pep?
He threw a shoulder at me earlier in the night, and I said, "Oh, sorry, bud." And I was telling Batch a story about it.
Yeah. And then the guy just rolls up on me and says, I'm going to punch you in your teeth.
He said, I'll bloody fucking murder you.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? I said I'm sorry because I thought I bumped into you. Really, he bumped into me, but whatever. Lucky me, all my friends are tall. You can't really be shorter than me. So lucky me, all my friends are taller than me. And it's like, what are you going to do, bud? You ain't going to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bimmer.
It just felt like that was a moment where we were in the Irish culture right there, boys. I mean,
somebody was murdered there that night.
100 yards, 200 yards away.
Bimmer, were you in the cab ride home from there?
So I got in the cab with Oates.
Oatsy.
It was just me and Oates.
There's another story there with the old cell phone debacle.
Well, I'll tell you what, the flight back, I'm happy we made it safely, but I mean, God, I was up for 22 and a half hours. I don't know about you, but from the time I woke up to the time I got to bed back here in West Virginia, it was 22 and a half hours. Taxing.
Yeah, it was a long trip.
Yeah, but we don't tell the ladies that it was taxing, all right? Like they don't want to hear how our 7 golf day trip was taxing.
Yeah. Oh, it's tiring.
So Bim, whose team were you on for the last day? Because there was a team Vince Trocheck, team Hayden Fleury. They drew names. The middle match was probably the best 2 matches, I would say, from what we heard. Were you on Vince's team?
No, I was on.
Oh, loser.
I was on Hayden Fleury's team. Yeah, I was on the losing team.
Sucks.
And
sucks to suck.
My my partner was Michael Oates.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Michael Oates played Brandon and Mike George, and Brandon and Mike played really good. So they more or less waxed us, to be honest with you. But it was still fun. I mean, Port Monarch is really cool. I feel like that clubhouse, out of all the clubhouses that we visited, I felt like that one had the most historical feel. There was the Jameson brothers were on the plaques. Somebody told me that the Jamesons, they didn't live too far away. There was just a lot of cool historical vibe kind of throughout that clubhouse. I don't know how you guys felt. It was close to Dublin.
Yeah. There was so much history no matter where we went. I mean, we were glad that you joined us on this excursion, my man, and be in the look in your mailbox for the next year invite. Something might be coming.
Oh, you guys know I'm there for sure. With the boys?
That's it.
Let's go, Bimmer. Let's go.
Man. Bimmy. Well, listen, you enjoy the rest of your day, my man. Thank you for taking 10 minutes of your time to talk a little bit to us here on Chasin Birdies, and we will look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. And again, keep it up, guys. You guys are killing it. I'm loving the vibes and everything I'm hearing. So talk to you guys soon.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it,
Ben. Make sure you wear that vest, Bubs.
Oh, dude, Chasin Birdies best all day, every day.
Let's
Hey,
go.
Let's
All
do
right,
it. I'll see you, brother.
All right, man.
So, I'm laughing because Jonathan is very particular about what he wears. And he thinks about what he's going to wear before he is wearing anything, days in advance. And
This trip screwed me all up.
we're getting ready. I mean, he was flustered, but we had stuff coming in. Holderness and Bourne, sponsor the show. They're phenomenal. Thank you for all your support. But hbgolf.com, check them out. Pep gets a new Holderness long sleeve pullover, and we're going to dinner the one night, and I walk out of the hotel room, and immediately after I walk out of the room, Pep walks out of his room, and he's got this blue and red.
Might be my favorite piece now, but good.
Blue and red Chasin Birdies quarter zip or whatever. But it's red, people. It's like Christmas red with blue. And I just start laughing because I said, buddy, you going to a Christmas party? So he looks at me and he walks in the room, and I didn't think anything of it. So I go down to the dinner, and then next thing you know, he shows up, and he didn't have that thing on. He had like a H&B long sleeve on now. So
Just a plain one.
but that was funny, man. I don't know why.
Good. I'm glad you got a laugh out of that.
I mean, we did. I mean, we laughed our dicks off.
No air conditioning in Ireland, Northern Ireland, so it was a great time. The hottest week of the history of Ireland, so that was good.
Yeah.
How about the bird outside your room just chirping all night?
Dude, the birds. It sounded like monkeys fighting each other, but it was a good time. So our last guest today that we're going to bring on here is a legend here in the state of West Virginia from Huntington. Most of you may know him as IP or IP Caters.
IP!
Yeah, but he's a living legend, Ian Patrick Archer, a dear friend of mine, dear friend of Pep's. The guy is a walking cartoon character, and I hope that you people check him out on Instagram because we are going to put up a picture of him playing golf with us. But Ian Patrick Archer, that story with him, I don't know if he's going to talk about it, but IP had a little bit of motion sickness early in the morning on the bus.
After the big night, though. It was the big night.
Sunday night, yeah, big night.
Sunday night, it was Monday morning.
Monday morning, walks up to the bus driver, Sean. Hey, Sean. Yeah, gas station anywhere? And Sean kind of like didn't even respond to him. And Detweiler trying to be funny says, "What do you got, a shit, IP?" And IP goes calmly, he goes, "No, I'm about to puke my guts up." And next thing you know, boom, starts puking everywhere, bud. And that evacuated the bus faster
Than anything.
It
caused a little bit of a domino effect, A couple other people, one person puked, and because he puked, and then we thought Ian shit himself. He farted while he was doing this, and then he puked in a bag. The bag exploded on him when he was puking, and the puke went all over the seats, and then Brandon puked, and then it was just a debacle. I mean, we were literally 20 minutes away, and the guy pukes, and then he runs away. Like, where'd he go? He went to freaking Delhi.
He had to get something. I mean, he had to get something on his stomach. The back rows of Ireland, by the way, it does remind you of southwestern Pennsylvania. It's very green. And to Brandon's point, with all that rain they get, dude, the course is harder than cement. But it's very green. There's cows everywhere. You got a lot of sheep, little lambs.
Yeah, birds. Birds are everywhere.
All right, so we're going to give the legend of West Virginia, Mr. Ian Patrick Archer, a call here.
The odds of him answering this
see if we can get him on.
are not very good.
Here we are.
My God! IPA!
It's your boy IP, straight from WV. What's cracking?
What's up, my man? It's good to see you, bud. Good to hear you here on Chasin Birdies. What's going on, Pizzle?
I've been out watching the boys chase birdies out of the West Virginia Amateur Qualifier.
Bud,
I just got to keep the golf bug going, even though I wasn't playing.
you just had a weekend yourself, huh? You flew from, tell people you went from Dublin to Dulles on Friday, and then you went from Dulles to Glade Springs Friday, you drove, and then you go get yourself a damn win.
Went to the Father's Son and went in there and whipped them up. We did a little 8 under yesterday, 8 birdies, no bogeys. The old
Chasin.
man, great. He's playing the course at about 5,000 yards now since he turned 70. and he's out driving me and acting like he's out driving me. And I'm like, well, that's a good shot. You know, he's like, yeah, you better hit it a little harder next time. And I'm like, what in the hell are you talking about? You hit a 180, bud. Come on.
So, but did you put a lot of pressure on him this time, bud? Because while you were in Ireland, he said, I just don't know if I can handle the pressure.
He was not happy about me putting the pressure on him last year. We were 8 under through 14 and leading. And I tell you what, he almost shit his pants about as bad as I did on the bus headed to Royal County down.
So we'll get into that a little bit. So congratulations to you and your dad on winning the father-child in West Virginia. Another win for IPA. Beautiful. Now it's off to the state amateur for the boys. But tell us, bud, you went to Ireland, your homeland, for the Ian Patrick Archer. What was it like for you?
I couldn't believe how nice everyone was and how beautiful it was, and just felt like I fit in. I mean, it was unbelievable. Coming from where I came from in West Virginia is as green as West Virginia, and everyone is just as nice as everyone is here. So we felt right at home everywhere we went. You know, the service was great. You know, everybody trashes the food in Ireland and Scotland. We had nothing but the best meals, 4-star cross, and the Guinness is always cold. They always said they didn't like ice, but we got lots of rocks in the Bushmills, and the Guinnesses were cold. So this an unbelievable trip, and I want to thank you guys again for having me. It was a great experience.
Well, let me tell you something, dude. You tied the trip together because, honestly, you are an absolute joy to be around. Every time I'm around you, it's amazing. You're freaking awesome. So thank you for coming, and I'm glad that you had some good memories created. So speaking of memories, what is your most memorable moment in Ireland? And by the way, people, if you follow Ian on Instagram, IP Caters, he did a caddy segment every day with these caddies, these young kids. Hey, man, we're going to do the caddy segment. So maybe touch a little bit on the caddy segment and also what other, I guess, day or moment in time sticks out to you.
Yeah, the caddy segment just popped in my head walking down one of the holes with Francie. He'd been a 32-year caddy at the island there, and we had a blast, and I just wanted to give him a little love and a shout out, and then just let everyone know how strong these accents were. And I don't think I had anybody tell me that they could understand any words that they said. And I'm like, well, think of me with my redneck accent mixing in with that Ireland accent. So, I mean, it was a little bit of communication barrier going on. I didn't know if he said it goes left or right or what it does, But no, that was kind of cool. Definitely like getting those guys out there. The young 18-year-old kids that we had at Fort Marnock, we started pumping the Jack Harlow on number one, and they were just in awe. They usually get these old crusty bastards in there, and here we are running it, dancing and yakking it up to each other on the first tee and roasting each other, and they didn't know what to do. And I mean, it was fun. It just proves that if you be nice to them, they'll be nice to you, and you just have a great.
Bud, they chirp over there. I mean, yeah, the caddies chirp you a little bit. You can't handle it. You might want to walk off the golf course. I know Fleury got to a point with Fleury that he was kind of like, all right, this guy better shut the fuck up. Like, I mean, so. Yeah,
you don't stop. Not lay it off. And, I mean, if you got soft skin, I'm sorry, we're not the crew for you. Go hang out with your grandma.
Other than that, Bud, I mean, what was your favorite course? I know Royal County Down was it, and that was everybody's favorite, but what was your favorite course outside of RCD?
I think Port Rush is really right there. If you give Royal County Down a 9.9, because there's no such thing as anything perfect, you got to give Royal Port Rush a 9.8. It was
Port Marnock. I love Port Marnock.
I mean, I really think that course is top shelf, and every shot you got to be on your toes and tighten your lines and just hit it straight, or you're done. People don't understand it. That's the way golf is. I got the Glade Springs this weekend, and on the first tee shot, I could hit it 200 yards either way. And I'm like, what am I going to do?
Right.
And I'm like, wow.
Right.
And
what was that like?
The ball up. Oh, my God. The first wedge I hit that spun back, I mean, I felt like Jesus was running through me. I was like, I'm back home.
Here we go, boys. IPA's back.
I'm back. I'm back to my homeland. It's all soft. And, whew, man,
so
I can't stand.
You had mentioned an incident that happened on Monday morning of the bus ride to RCD. The boys got into a little one Sunday night. We had a blast. Everybody drank a little too much. BKatz gave you some pill that did not work. What was it? It was to cure your hangover or stomach ache or whatever.
I felt felt good waking up. I was the first one downstairs for coffee, was hanging out, having a blast, felt great. And then somebody jumped in my seat back there. I won't name any names. And then I had to ride backwards, and that didn't work out for me. So it was a little bit of a mess, and Sean cleaned it up for us and got it all found out. But
I mean, there was rumors in the bus that you shit yourself.
Thank God. That was really bad. And I'm telling the story to my girlfriend, and she goes, "Oh, you did." She goes, "You definitely did." And I'm like, "No, I didn't." She goes, "Wow, that'd be the first time."
Oh,
she knows your trends.
So you yak and it comes out both ends. That's good, bud.
Yeah, that does. But that was, just everybody stepping up and being my friend and not making me feel bad about it was awesome, and just having a laugh about it. And that's I couldn't have asked for better friends in that situation. And that's when you know you're with people that love you.
Yeah. Oh, bud, everyone. I think you made yourself a little name over at Ireland. So you carry that damn Yeti around everywhere you go with stickers on it.
I left it at every clubhouse. I left it at every car we were in. It just always gets left behind. It's got that heavy out. Those Bushmills will get to you.
Well, we had a good time. The one night there, the last night dinner, you and I got monkfish. I mean, come on, we ain't getting monkfish over here in West Virginia. No.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. You and I were sitting on opposite ends of the table, and I asked you what you ordered, and we had the exact same order: French onion soup and monkfish.
Yeah, that's exactly right, my man.
That French onion soup. Oh my gosh, that was as good.
I'm going to buy some sherry right now.
Yeah. We played together a couple times, Pizzle. We played the last round. We played at Port Marnock. We played Port Rush together.
Yeah, Port Rush, yep.
And that, to your point, is probably your favorite of the courses, which I don't disagree to have that as your favorite, because Port Rush is incredible. That was the final day of the Open, and you had the Open on your phone listening. So, we all got to tune in, hear what's going on with Cam Smith. But what was it about Port Rush that kind of made it your number one?
Just how the holes just fit in to where they are perfectly. You're going down, you go number one up that little small hill, and then just two runs along the backside there, and then you head into the little par three, and then next thing you know, you're on top of that mountain looking at the whole course. And then you play a couple more holes, and then you're looking at the whole course. Mm-hmm. And just the way it flowed was just perfect.
Mm.
I mean, but as hard as the ground is, people will never know until they get there.
Oh, it's so hard, dude.
Yeah, people will never know. I mean, they definitely shallowed out my golf swing. Probably why I played so well this weekend, because the first couple of holes, I think I broke my wrist at Port Stewart. But you got to get shallow there. You're going to be in big trouble.
Oh, shit.
There'll be some heads flying down the fairway.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, we appreciate you carving out a little bit of your time from watching golf to jump on here on Chasin Birdies to talk a little bit about this Ireland trip that we all had. I wish you the best of luck at the State Am, my man.
All right, baby. I hope to see you down there. You got your qualifier on Wednesday.
Let's get it, boys. Second time qualifier. Let's go.
All right, bud.
Yep, and we're going to have dinner on Friday night when you get there.
I'll be there, my man. Pizzle.
Okay, I'll see you next. No.
Thanks, my man. Cheers.
Good luck with the pod, and if you need anything else, let me know.
All
right, brother. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
So there you have it, guys. You Brandon Katzeff, Brian John, and Ian Patrick Archer. They all had a blast. Everyone had a blast. It was so much fun. I mean, dude, I was part of one of the best matches that I've ever seen in match play. We all picked teams: Team Trocheck, Team Fleury, and Vince and I were four-ball partners in the second group against Fleury and Peering, and then I had Peering in individuals. Vince and Fleur went to head-on-head. We were both 2 down to Fleury and Peering going into the 10th hole, and then we got it to all square, both of our singles. We ended up winning the team 1 point, and then I have Peering, great match. I mean, we tied the last 4 holes and have the whole match. Trocheck, Fleury come to 18, all square. Fleury wanted to puke, and he was so nervous. Trocheck duck hooks it into the shit. Fleury hits a little bunter down there, middle of the fairway. Trocheck punches out across the fairway into the weeds, semi-weeds. Fleury hits it to 25 feet. Trocheck hits it to 12 feet. Trocheck walks over to me on the green. He says, "Hey, I'm making this." And I said, "I love it, dude. I love to hear that."
Bold. I like it.
Fleury puts it 5 feet by. He said, "Well, he's not going to miss this." I said, "But he just told me he wanted to puke. He's missing. Like, there's no chance He's already missed it. He missed it on the tee box. Vince makes the 12-footer for par. Fleury pushes it low side, loses the hole. Trocheck wins in the Indy overall match, and then I have mine 2.5 points, and we ended up winning all the money, boys. Well, not us, but we were part of the reason why. We had other people on our team that won points, but that was a deciding match.
That was a good match.
And it was an incredible match to see, but it was really funny to see. I mean, Bud, these guys, he wanted to poop himself.
Well, and these guys are used to playing in front of people, and here they are playing in front of you and fucking Peering, and they can't even hold their horses. Rumor has it you and Peering had it going pretty good. Everybody wrote Peering off.
Well, there's a bet out there, though.
Peering's not going to beat Pep. Are you crazy?
Well, there was a bet out there that 5 and 4 Peering would beat me at plus 3,400.
Oh, damn.
So
that sounds like a good bet. But anyways, get to the turn and you're 2 down.
We were both 2 down. And we ended up winning, Bud. I mean, I didn't, Indy. I tied Peering. I got to give Peering that. Yeah. But I'll tell you this much, boys.
I got to give Peering that.
I mean, he putted his lights out. I mean, on par 3, he got a shot. He went 21. He went 32 on me, and I hit it to 8 feet. Didn't even sniff the hole, and he guy, fucking
shit,
shrunken
man.
Sweater that was too. Oh my god, made me. He putted so good, but he got up and down from 40 yards twice, putting. You can't. So
I got a great video of him putting. I mean, the ball flies higher than a wedge, and he was using his putter.
Listen, everyone had a blast. The week was great. The food was great. The people were great. I do want to say a thank you to All Access and Ryan Gano and his team over there. They killed it for us. There was no hiccups anywhere. We played the best golf. We stayed at the best spots. It was just a dynamite trip that I will forever remember with my buddies. Cannot wait to play an American course where I can just hit driver down the left-hand side, cut it off that.
Yeah, no, I know. It's totally different golf. You people out there, get overseas and play some golf. It's fucking wild. It's awesome. It's incredible. Dublin, we highly recommend it. The Guinness is phenomenal. It tastes like water with little burnt hops in it. I could drink it all day. And food, other than the onions and the roasted tomatoes, everything else is pretty damn good.
That Italian restaurant. Whew. So, lads, it's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun, lads.
But it's back to reality for the lads. And I'm excited to play a little American golf where maybe there's not as much wind and you can hit a flop shot and hit a putt that actually rolls out. But I would love to bring the caddy. Dude, the caddies chirping kill me. Like, I mean, they were all over all of us, but they do it in such a great. It's good fun and it keeps them entertained too. Probably, honestly. But
that caddy reminded me of the young kid on Roseanne, and he was just chirping the hell out of Fleury. I mean, calling him everything under the sun, and then Fleury's finally, he's looking, he's like, dude, I'm going to knock this kid out, for real. But no fights happened, so that was good. But next episode, we will drop it accordingly. Just wanted to get this banner sesh out regarding our Ireland trip, so thank you all for listening. What else? You got anything to say?
Nothing, my man. Stay tuned. Go to chasinbirdies.com. Some new swag up there from Holderness and Bourne. We got new hats coming in for the Nemacolin event. They're going to be here any day now. We'll probably end up giving them away. I mean, we get high on our own supply all the freaking time.
Yeah, but we need a new buyer maybe. I'm just kidding.
So, please go check it out. Tell your friends. Tell a friend.
Yep.
Tell a family. Like it. Listen. Love it. We love you guys. We appreciate all the support. This thing's growing, and it's good to see. So, thank y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all for listening again. Another episode of Chasin Birdies. Stay tuned for the next drop. And thank you to Evo and his team at Simpler Media for putting this thing together. Thank you to Rachel London and Jacqueline DiPaterio for all your social media help. You girls are just kicking ass right now, making us look good. And we appreciate it very much. Y'all keep chasing.